The challenges faced by the architecture sector are common across all of construction. Our role within that is to champion the value of design, to demonstrate how design can help us navigate through difficult times. In a very focused way, we're looking at three key areas that we think can play an initial part. One is to introduce the amazing talent that is the Scottish architecture sector to a wider client audience, be that in the rest of the UK or internationally. The second area is to provide resources that will support practice. And then third, and perhaps most challengingly, trying to look at opportunities to make regulatory and financial systems work better for the sector. So if you can do that, delivering the right things in quicker time with better quality, then everyone benefits from that, not simply the architecture sector.
I think it's a really challenging time to be an architect. I think one of the most difficult things about our job is the increasing level of technical difficulty and regulation, and it's often very hard to convey that to clients and so on. And I think there's a kind of culture at the moment in construction of wanting more for less, so it's also really difficult to balance fees in a really competitive market for the time investment that's required to do really good work and to do your job properly and feel proud of what you're doing.
I think a really fundamental one that we see just now and we're grappling with regularly is the balance between design as really a critical component that adds value to place versus design as a challenge that costs a client money up front. This is about putting time and therefore a little bit of extra cost into that design process so that we get places that will last longer, that will sustain and be supported and protected by future generations and communities. And I think that's at the core of what we see as being critical for us as a profession moving forwards.
I think a more resilient architectural sector would be one that valued the time investment, but also the knowledge and the skills that architects carry with them. You know, we're good all-rounders. We have to have a really good in-depth knowledge of lots of different subjects, lots of different ways of working. And I think if there was an atmosphere where that was really valued, we could keep pushing forward with sustainable, durable buildings, which is what we all really need and really want to create.
What's amazing about Scotland is despite all these blockers and challenges and that uncertainty, we have amazing things happen. We've got brilliant design happening across the country. We're unique in terms of our ability to make things happen quite quickly because we're quite a small country. And I think Scotland benefits from acting as an amazing opportunity, amazing platform because of that, the openness of doors, the ability to initiate these conversations and to do really good things really well.
I think what we need is a really strong voice for good design. If architects do it themselves, it comes across as partial and self-interested. So something like Architecture and Design Scotland doing it is extremely good news because they should be seen as independent, they should be able to aim high, they don't need to be compromised by commercial issues. I would ask that Architecture and Design Scotland could advocate for good design so that the public see it, so that the clients see it, and so that architects feel they're being represented better than currently is the case.
Following the review in 2024, we have established 5 key themes that we think will help not just the architecture sector, but society more generally. And those are tackling the climate emergency, tackling the housing emergency, supporting investment in public sector infrastructure, promoting digital innovation, last but absolutely not least, growing the sector that's represented by architecture and design. I'm always keen to stress this is not simply in the narrow self-interest of the architecture profession, or indeed this organisation, but by getting those things right, it benefits everybody across all aspects of Scotland's society.